There comes a moment between two people when the air suddenly feels heavier, yet neither of you says a single word. And if you're feeling that weight with her, it's not something you're imagining. There's a certain kind of connection that sneaks up on a man. Quiet, electric, and a little dangerous. You don't mention it. She doesn't mention it. But it sits between you both like a truth waiting for someone brave enough to touch it. And if you felt that tension, that pull, that unspoken gravity with a woman, then listen closely, because most men misunderstand what's happening and end up walking away from something that was never casual. And she walks away thinking you never noticed her. What I'm about to share is something women rarely admit out loud. Not because we can't, but because we're terrified of being the first one to say it. You think you're hiding your feelings well, don't you? But she notices more than you think. Women don't fall for words. They fall for patterns. And when a man starts showing these subtle shifts, the ones you assume no one can see, that's when a woman realizes the truth you're not saying. What men forget is this. When two people quietly want each other, the energy becomes almost physical. It shows in the way you talk, pause, look, pull back, and then drift closer without meaning to. It's a psychological loop, and once you're both inside it, pretending becomes exhausting. So here's the first psychological sign that both of you feel something, even if neither of you will admit it. Your conversations become deeper than the relationship itself. When a woman has no feelings, she keeps things light and predictable. But when she's trying to guard her heart, she goes deep in the safest way possible, emotionally intimate without confessing anything. She asks things other women never bother to ask. She remembers details she shouldn't need to. She listens to your fears with a softness that doesn't match whatever label you two have. Pay attention. Emotional depth is rarely an accident. It's the subconscious building a bridge neither of you is ready to cross. And here's what you may not realize. Men reveal feelings in the same way. You open up around her without noticing you're being vulnerable. You share things you told yourself you'd keep inside. You feel strangely comfortable. You feel seen. Too seen, it scares you. And it scares her. That's why neither of you says anything, because once someone admits the truth, everything changes. And both of you know it. Before we move on, tell me this. Have you ever felt an unspoken bond with someone, like the connection was louder than the words? Comment below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs it. There's a moment in every almost relationship where the energy shifts quietly, but unmistakably. You start noticing things about her you were never meant to notice. She starts reacting to things you weren't supposed to influence. And both of you act like nothing is happening even though everything is. This is where the second psychological sign appears, and most men miss it. Sign number 2. Your presence affects her behavior more than she wants it to. A woman who feels nothing stays stable around you, calm, consistent. But a woman hiding her feelings becomes subtly unpredictable. One day she's warm and playful, glowing in your direction. The next day she's guarded and distant, almost like she's putting herself back together. It's not mood swings, it's emotional defense. She's regulating her heart in real time. When you walk into the room, her emotions respond before her mind can stop them. Watch her body language. Women communicate interest through micro-signals, especially when they're hiding feelings. She becomes hyper-aware of herself around you, fixing her hair, adjusting her clothes, sitting straighter, pretending she's not looking while still looking. There's a softness in her eyes when she thinks you aren't watching. And the second she realizes you saw it, she looks away like she's hiding something fragile. Now here's the part most men don't notice. You affect her nervous system. A woman with hidden feelings mirrors you without realizing it. If you lean in, she leans in. If you speak quietly, she softens her tone. If you act distant, she withdraws too, not because she wants to, but because she's protecting herself from wanting more. This mirroring is psychological proof of emotional synchronization. It only happens when two people feel a deeper attraction they're afraid to admit. But here's the truth. You're doing the exact same thing. You tell yourself you're just being polite, just being friendly, but your voice changes around her. Your posture shifts. You look at her longer than you should. You feel more alive when she's near, and strangely empty when she's not. And even without saying a word, she senses it. Women learn young how to read emotional cues. She knows when you're pretending. She knows when something inside you is trying to stay hidden. And she doesn't call you out because she's hiding the same truth. So when both people affect each other this deeply, the tension rises. The attraction becomes a quiet storm, powerful but silent. A connection both of you feel but neither touches. That's why it feels so intense. No one wants to break the spell. Before we continue, tell me honestly, has a woman's behavior ever changed the moment you walked in, even though she tried acting normal? If yes, drop a comment, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs clarity. There's a point where silence becomes louder than conversation. Every glance feels like a question neither of you answers. And that's where the third psychological sign appears. Sign number 3. You both create excuses to stay in each other's lives, even when you pretend they're accidental. When two people don't care, communication stays practical and predictable. But when feelings grow quietly, interactions become intentional. You don't call it interest. You don't call it attraction. You call it checking in, staying in touch, seeing how someone is doing. But the truth is that you're both holding on to a connection you're scared to lose. Think about it. Why does she reach out about something she could figure out herself? Why ask your opinion on things that don't need your opinion? Why send a meme, a small question, a random story? Because she wants to leave the door open without being the one to push it wide. And you do the same. You message when she crosses your mind. You think of her when something reminds you of her. You let conversations go longer than needed. You ask deeper questions. You check on her on days you don't have to. You're holding on to something you don't want to lose, even though you call it casual. This back and forth isn't random. Humans don't maintain emotional ties without emotional motivation. When two people keep finding their way back to each other through jokes, updates, late-night chats, and little check-ins, it means the bond is already there. You don't chase someone's presence unless their absence bothers you. But here's what you might not realize. The fear of losing the connection is stronger than the fear of speaking about it. That's why neither of you pulls away fully. You take space for a day or two, but you return. And so does she. Because inside both of you, there's hope. Quiet hope. And hope is the strongest emotional glue humans have. Before we move to the final section, answer this. Have you ever kept someone in your life through small excuses, even though your feelings were anything but small? Comment your answer and subscribe, and share this with someone who needs the truth. Now here's the most powerful psychological sign of all. The moment when the truth becomes impossible to hide, not because anyone says it, but because the connection refuses to stay quiet. Sign number 4. Both of you feel the tension of something unstarted, and it refuses to fade. This isn't simple attraction. This isn't infatuation. This is that rare emotional pressure that forms between two people who care far more than they admit. You feel it when conversations linger too long. You feel it when you hesitate before saying goodbye. You feel it when your chest tightens when she smiles at you. That mix of familiarity and longing, closeness wrapped in distance. It's the emotional limbo created when two people want each other but fear losing what they already have. And here's what many men don't understand. When a woman has feelings she won't admit, she becomes emotionally cautious but physically present. She stays close but not too close. She looks at you but looks away quickly. She lets the moment stretch just enough for you to feel it, then pulls away before anything can happen. It's not rejection, it's self-control. And you're doing the same. You hold back words you want to say. You avoid making a move because you fear ruining the connection that means more to you than you're willing to say. You tell yourself you're patient, respectful, careful, but deep inside you're afraid. Afraid she doesn't feel it too. Afraid you're imagining it. Afraid of misreading her. So you wait and she waits. And the bond grows heavier and harder to ignore. When you're near each other, the world feels sharper. When you're apart, something feels missing. You replay conversations. You wonder what she's thinking when she goes quiet. You feel her absence even though she was never yours. This is not casual. This is two hearts trying to stay logical while their emotions are already tied together. And deep down, you know this one truth. If either of you ever confessed how you really feel, everything would change instantly. That's why the tension exists. That's why the silence matters. That's why the bond feels so alive. Both of you are holding on to the same truth while pretending not to. Now let me ask you something personal. Is there someone in your life right now you feel this unspoken connection with, but both of you are too afraid to acknowledge it? Tell me in the comments. And if this video hit you hard, like it, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Thanks for watching and subscribing. Please like, comment, and share if you want to keep these videos coming.